I'd like to speak again a little more about the Grenville Lodge Enigma. Indeed, Grenville Lodge was run by a network called Department S-34, who are a Masonic network and is chiefly composed of rogue intelligence operatives of Anglo and American heritage, as well as the descendants of Nazi intelligence operatives who were transferred via Project Moribund from Nazi Germany to Britain with the cessation of hostilities at the end of the Second World War. Indeed, Project Moribund was mainly run by networks of MI6. Indeed, it was many of these networks of MI6 who ran Project Moribund who were heavily involved in the creation of Department S-34. Indeed, Department S-34 specialize in the fracturing of the mind and the weaponization of that fracturing of the mind. And indeed, a lot of this had to do with the creation of schizophrenic super spies, which seems to be one of the main mandates of Department S-34, the creation of schizophrenic super spies for utilization in operations against the Soviets. And indeed, now with the end of the Soviet Union, a lot of the interests of Department S-34 involve the weaponization of schizophrenic super spies against the Russian Federation. Indeed, the Russian Federation themselves have similar programs that fall under the Project Sturm mind control experimentation program that has been taking place in Russia and previously the Soviet Union for the best part of 100 years. Indeed, this is a large mind control experiment that is being carried out by the Western intelligence services and the neo-Soviet intelligence services of the Russian Federation. Indeed, there does seem to be quite a bit of crossover of neuroscientists between these programs. However, these are distinct programs. So, still very interesting to consider indeed. There does seem to be an arms race, basically, of schizophrenic super spies between the Western intelligence services and the neo-Soviet intelligence services, who are attempting to both perfect the fracturing of the mind for the possibility of a future conflict. Indeed, it seems that in the Russian Federation there are similar manifestations of secret societies as proliferate in Britain. Indeed, there is a network resembling the British Freemasons in the Russian Federation, and this is known as the Leadstorm Lodges. Indeed, the Leadstorm Lodges are widespread within the Russian intelligence services, the Russian military, and the Russian police structure. And indeed, the old Bolshevik Troika and the Russian elites have sacrificial rituals underneath Moscow in the catacombs, in a very similar way to how the British Freemasons conduct ceremonies and basically commit human sacrifice in the catacombs beneath the Masonic lodges and various public institutions such as police headquarters across the United Kingdom. Indeed, the police headquarters across the United Kingdom all contain catacombs wherein the Freemasonic fraternities that comprise the British police sacrifice babies, rape toddlers, and basically carry out all sorts of arcane activities. And this is very disturbing. Indeed, I personally witnessed the activities of the Grenville Lodge Freemasons a few times while I was located at Grenville Lodge. And indeed, I saw the Grenville Lodge Freemasons ritually sacrifice human beings in their ceremonies in the catacombs and vaults beneath the Grenville Lodge institution, which was all very dark and disturbing. However, I was heavily drugged at the time, so emotionally I was very detached from what was going on. However, it was truly a disturbing experience. Indeed, I believe that part of the reason that I was given hypno-programmed amnesiac barriers is because of what I'd witnessed the Grenville Lodge Freemasons doing, which is all very interesting to consider the fact that the Grenville Lodge Freemasons decided not to murder me, which means that I am being used as a test subject terminally. Indeed, I'll be used as a test subject until I die, most probably by natural causes. Indeed, I do not believe that the Grenville Lodge Freemasons are actually trying to kill me anymore. I have thought this before, however, I'm not entirely sure now this is the case. Indeed, it seems that they are still utilizing me as a test subject within the Grenville Lodge Enigma experiment. And indeed, the microwave radiation beaming that I am receiving from Wiltshire Police is part of a retaliation by the British Freemasons to my exposures of their black operations. And the voices that are being implanted in my head by gang stalkers are all part of the continued experimentation and testing that I am undergoing. Indeed, this all has to do with the fracturing of the mind. Indeed, I am not sure that the British Freemasons any longer wish to utilize me as a schizophrenic super spy for operations against the Russian Federation. Indeed, it seems that I am merely being used as a test subject to see what can happen with the fracturing of the psyche by continued experimentation by the British Freemasons. So it's all quite interesting to note what is going on in this regard. Indeed, it seems that, as I've stated, the experiment is terminal. It's interesting to note that I have a Russian in my brain. Indeed, as I do not speak Russian, this Russian speaks to me in English. And this Russian really hates the British Freemasons, so it's interesting to consider the information I'm gleaning from the Russian within my head. And indeed, at times, his personality bleeds through into mine. And indeed, the British Freemasons wish to take advantage of this Russian personality of mine bleeding through into my mainstream personality, because they wish to enact the Blackwell legacy on me, which I've explained in previous videos. Indeed, this would involve casting me as a neo-Soviet Russian spy, and therefore the British Freemasons could basically dispose of me in a certain way and make out all of my content to have been solely Russian propaganda, which is basically what they want to do, is to cast me as a Russian agent. However, I believe they're having trouble with this concept because I'm not entirely sure that anyone would actually believe it. Indeed, due to my obvious mental health conditions, it is very unlikely that the Russian intelligence services would recruit someone in that condition, it would seem. However, that is not necessarily the case. As I've stated, the British Freemasons are utilizing mind-fractured paranoid schizophrenics for their operations against the Russian Federation. Indeed, the Russian Federation are also utilizing schizophrenic super spies in their operations against the British Freemasons. So it's all very interesting to consider the weaponization of the mentally ill patient and the ongoing mind control experimentation and testing that is occurring to the paranoid schizophrenics that are designated as part of the program by the Department S-34 in the United Kingdom, and various elements of the KGB, GRU, and MVD in the Russian Federation. So it's all very interesting to consider. Indeed, a lot of this experimentation also involves intense testing of psychotronic weapons, and indeed the British intelligence services and the neo-Soviet Russian intelligence services are at this moment engaged in an arms race in terms of the build-up of psychotronic weapons for the utilization of these psychotronic weapons in a future conflict. And indeed, these psychotronic weapons are often tested on schizophrenic super spies. Indeed, there are theories that these psychotronic weapons actually enhance the paranormal capabilities of the schizophrenic super spies. So they are not only utilized to cause damage as part of the mind fracturing process, but they are also utilized in an attempt to harness paranormal potentials within the paranoid schizophrenic super spy community that are being manipulated and mind fractured by the intelligence services. Indeed, it seems that possible remote viewing that may be being operated by paranoid schizophrenic super spies is enhanced under the influence of extreme psychotronic weapon abuses, really. So it's all very strange to consider what is going on. And indeed, it's interesting also to note that paranoid schizophrenic super spies are never actually given proper security clearances, as they are deemed a hazard to operational capacity. So it's interesting to note, why exactly do the intelligence services and such rogue outfits as Department S-34 insist on the continued use of paranoid schizophrenic super spies? I believe a lot of this has to do with the cosmic conflict between Freemasonry and schizophrenia. Indeed, the mind fracturers of the Department S-34 Freemasonic networks like to basically torture paranoid schizophrenics as much as possible, as this is deeply ingrained within their psyche to do, basically. So it's interesting to consider. Indeed, Department S-34 are some of the most terrible people in the United Kingdom and are operating this program as part of the cosmic conflict between paranoid schizophrenics and Freemasons. Indeed, it's all very interesting to consider. Indeed, I believe I may indeed suffer from something that may be, in the grand scheme of things, worse than schizophrenia, and this is something to do with a degenerative brain condition caused by synthetic drug abuse. So it's interesting to consider that synthetic drugs are utilized in the experimentation. And indeed, a lot of the paranoid schizophrenic super spies may be suffering from this degenerative brain condition. And perhaps this is what the Department S-34 operatives are trying to create, is this fractured mind state that develops from the overarching abuse of synthetic drugs combined with the hazardous effects of extreme psychotronic weapons use against the target. So it's interesting to consider. Indeed, I am radioactive, so it's all very interesting to consider. And indeed, radioactivity does have the added possibility of the enhancement of paranormal phenomena within the individual when one has undergone sustained radiation. So it's all very interesting to consider. Indeed, in this regard, the Russian Federation is known for high levels of radiation, and it is also known for high levels of paranormal schizophrenia. Indeed, there may be a correlating factor here, in that the radiation is enhancing paranormal phenomena. So it's all very interesting to consider. Indeed, I believe that the Department S-34 Freemasons may be attempting to catch up with the Leadstorm lodges in terms of the fracturing of the mind because of the levels of radiation abuse in the Russian Federation. There are many more paranoid schizophrenics possessing paranormal phenomena than in the United Kingdom. And the Grenville Lodge networks and their overarching body, the Department S-34 networks, are afraid of the advances by Russian intelligence in this regard and are attempting to catch up with this via the creation of a panopticist human mind control experiment that is terminal. And indeed, I am surveilled at all times. When I leave the house, I am surveilled constantly. And indeed, there also seems to be ongoing street theatre whereby certain people are located in certain places at certain times on purpose, specifically on the orders of the Department S-34 networks that are surveilling me. So this is all very interesting to consider. Indeed, this forms an aspect of gang stalking that I am undergoing due to the influence of Department S-34 on my life, which seems to be ongoing and is certainly terminal. Indeed, this is a terminal experiment, and I am never going to be able to escape from this experiment. Indeed, this experiment is going to continue until I pop my clogs, basically. So it's all very, very interesting to consider, and altogether a very strange situation indeed. If I hadn't have found myself at Grenville Lodge, I don't know if I'd have ever found myself in this predicament. Indeed, I was picked out by Tavistock connected neuroscientists when I was at Grenville Lodge as possessing the type of schizosophy that would be relevant to the experimentation that Department S-34 were carrying out in the confines of Grenville Lodge. And therefore, I was picked out by these neuroscientists who had connections to the Tavistock Institute, and I was placed in this ongoing human experimentation program, which is by all means very much a transhumanist one, as the Freemasons are now heavily focused on transhumanism and wish to achieve the singularity, i.e., the merging of the human mind with artificial intelligence. And indeed, a lot of this has to do with illuminist ideas of man becoming God, basically. So it's all very interesting to consider. Indeed, this is very much Illuminism in action, this transhumanist quest for achieving the apotheosis of mankind. So it's all very interesting to see that this is all Illuminism. So there is a direct tie-in with such networks as the Bavarian Illuminati of Adam Weishaupt, though I am trying to avoid unifying conspiracy theories. Indeed, it's interesting how all of the theories seem to lead back to a few core ideas that such people as Department S-34 seem to have. And indeed, this ongoing experimentation regarding the fracturing of the mind of the schizophrenic, all based in human trauma, experimentation, and mind control programming, seems to achieve long-range goals of the British Freemasons in terms of what they are seeking in terms of transhumanist apotheosis. So it's all very interesting to note and very strange to consider that this program is ongoing, and I have been utilized as an experimental test subject by some of the most terrible human beings in the United Kingdom who wish to achieve godhood, basically, themselves, and therefore utilizing techniques to fracture my mind and have completely fucked up my mind so that they can achieve godhood. Indeed, as I stated, this is merely an experiment, and this is merely a test. What they are doing to me is merely a test to study what happens with the fracturing of the human mind. Indeed, these people have well and truly fucked up my mind, and there is nothing I can do about it anymore. I am merely attempting to live as best I can with my mind being completely fractured and possessing several personalities in one brain. And yes, it's all very interesting. So I often relate to the Russian schizophrenic that exists inside my head also, who really, really, really hates the British Freemasons. And I understand exactly why he hates the British Freemasons and Department S-34 especially. So it's all very interesting to consider. Indeed, I'm going to leave it there now. Thank you.